Hey guys, I'm back with another video. This time I wanted to talk a little bit about like some more spiritual stuff, just because I want to get a lot more of this stuff out on my channel. Um, as of recent, I've been really contemplating what my next video was going to be. Um, I started making a video about my experiences with my guardian angels and how you can talk with yours, but some things happened with that video. It's like stuck in limbo right now, so unfortunately I couldn't get that out to you guys, so I'm making this video instead. Today I'm going to be talking about my experiences utilizing different energies, um, what they are. I'm not going to go too into detail about what some of them are, because if I do that I'd be talking here for the next 2-3 hours, and I think I'd rather make multiple videos on this subject rather than just make a 2 and 3 hour long video. So first off, I wanted to list off some of the energies I can use. If I'm not mistaken, there's like 2-3 more I'm missing from this list. I don't exactly remember what they are. I made a video a while back saying that I lost some of my memory, so I've gotten some things back, which is one of the reasons why I've been very hesitant making these videos. Is because there's just some information spiritually that I didn't write down. Some things I did, like the different energies, but some things I didn't. So that's why certain videos I've been like wanting to push out has been like delayed constantly, because I've been trying to like remember everything about those particular topics before I actually make a video about it. With that being said, I'll calm down and I'll just get into the topic. So I'm talking about my experiences utilizing different energies. With that being said, I'm going to start listing off some of them. I started with psionic energy. I'm not going in order, I'm just going whatever comes to my head, by the way. But the first energy I utilized was psionic energy. Then from there, I learned about faith energy, then intrinsic, then magic, then earth energy. I learned how to use light, dark, void. I learned how to use Corinzia, soul energy. I learned how to use force, elemental, mana. I learned how to use divine, reiki, and chi. And I'm sure I'm missing some. I don't, because there's a lot. I've actually learned like a lot, and unfortunately, I haven't written down as much as I've been needing to. So some of it's kind of, all over the place in my head. When I was 16, about 10 years ago, almost out of the blue, I started being able to sense energy, and I started having other abilities. With that being said, I learned how to use psionic energy. If you don't know what psionic energy is, it's basically psychic energy or mental energy, which you can actually utilize the energy in itself for different purposes or functions, if you will. I was about 16, and I learned very small things about like how to do a little bit of healing and how to cause like a little bit of pain. I know it seems kind of weird. There's a lot of red flags that just popped up, but I I was experimenting when I was younger, so I wanted to see where things could go. I still want to. It's just right now I'm on break until I recover from everything. I learned how to do stuff like that, but it was like very minuscule. Like for instance, if I had like a bit of nausea, I'd learn how to make it like, go away within a few seconds. If, let's say, my friend was having like a headache, because I was becoming more empathic at that age, I learned how to take away his pain. However, at the time I didn't learn how to use it well, so I took on that pain and healed his. It wasn't that much fun. And then at that age, I also became bombarded by other things, but we're not going to get into that right now. Sorry, my mind is going on a tangent. So with energy, even though I learned like a little bit of psionic energy, I never really took it that seriously because I felt like with everything else going on at that time, with all my other abilities manifesting, it put me in a place where I wasn't very comfortable talking to other people about it, because I thought people would look at me as if I was crazy, as if like I was losing my mind, as if I was, all this other negative stigma that comes with mental illness and stuff like that, and I didn't want to be labeled, which ended up happening regardless. But I learned to like deal with it regardless, and I really started to take energy wielding a bit more seriously, because I was back in like 2014, I would say, is when I really started to wonder where I could go with this, and I started doing things I didn't think I could do. For instance, I actually had the video on private, but I learned how to make constructs. And if you don't know what a construct is, essentially it's being able to make an object or form out of energy, and then you can program that object for whatever purpose you'd like, whether intentionally or unintentionally. I have a video that's actually on private now from 2016 where I actually talked about programming. I think I'm making a different video for that. That particular video, it was like, I felt like I was being really silly in that video. I wasn't really talking as well as I needed to about the topic, which is why it's on private. So I think I'm going to make a new video about programming, because you can program different things for different reasons, and they can be very helpful. I'm being vague purposefully, so I apologize if you want more information right now. But right now I'm just trying to focus on the energy portion and my experiences with energy. Like I said, if I were to just go off on a tangent, I'd be talking for hours. So just bear with me a little bit, okay? I promise I'll make more videos about particular subjects that come up in this video, okay? So with that being said, I've learned that there were energies one could utilize that were internal, different energies, mind you, not just psionic energies, there's different energies. Like faith is one that can come from you. Chi is another, of course. Everybody has a little bit of Reiki. But then I also learned how to utilize energies that are external, that are outside of you. For instance, like earth energy or light energy, for instance. And the coolest thing I've learned about these energies is that each particular energy actually has its own property. And I know that may seem obvious at first, but the way how different each actual energy is, one can't really expect. Because, for instance, I know I said I use dark energy. I wanted to say really fast that dark energy gets a bad rap. It's not it's not as bad as people make it out to be. And bear with me. Listen to me before you click away. What I mean by that is, dark energy, like light energy, like mana energy, are universal energies. They are what actually construct the universe as we know it to be. And so because of that, they are actually more primordial energies. Light, dark, and mana exist in a balance together. With that said, dark, neither one of them are particularly evil. The only reason why dark gets such a bad rep is because throughout history, a lot of people confuse dark energy and mistake it for a different kind of energy. That energy is one that people actually mean when they say dark. The two, dark energy and that particular kind of energy, the one I'm referring to, they're very similar. So people can easily mistake dark for that particular energy. And the reason why I'm not saying it is because I'm saving that topic for a whole new video, because that energy coincides. I talked about it a little bit in my The Heart and Expression video. If you go back, I talked about it very briefly. But I will make a video on that particular kind of energy. It's one that is, I'm being vague because I don't want to go too deep into it because it might confuse you. It might leave you confused if I say it, and I'm trying not to. um, it's just because it opens like a whole new like floodgate of information and ideas. So, but anyways, back to what I was saying. Dark energy can actually be used for healing, believe it or not. It depends on the kind of wound that you have, or the mental, emotional, even physical. Dark energy can actually be used for healing because of the properties of dark. Just like light energy can be used for healing, just like Reiki can be used for healing. And then with that, depending on the property of energies, you can build certain objects based off of those properties that can enhance what you program that object or construct to be like. Excuse me. For instance, if you were to make like a ball of energy, I'm being very simple. If you were to make like a ball of energy, like a healing ball, and if you were to give it to somebody to help them heal, however you program that energy will also correspond and be enhanced by the particular type of energy you use it. And based on your knowledge of the particular energy and what energy you choose to use for that particular set of healing, how you go about the programming of that ball can actually have drastic results depending on how well suited you are with that energy. So yeah, it's kind of a lot. It's more of an advanced topic, which is, like I said, why I'm trying to keep the video simple. It's very easy to become really advanced in this video. I'm just trying to have like a simple video. My experiences, right? That's what this video is about, my experiences with it. Well, for instance, solar energy that comes from the sun, acts like a guidance system. I don't know why, but it does. Which makes sense as to why a lot of people in ancient religions and ancient civilizations refer to the sun as like a god, because the energy itself is very guiding. I can actually draw in solar energy, and like it can direct me into certain places or people or locations I need to be in. Or in actuality, I can actually communicate with the energy itself, and it can help me figure out things. For instance, if I'm trying to learn a new spell or conjure a new spell for a particular purpose, I can draw in solar energy, and it can direct me how I can do that. And 10 times out of 10, it usually helps. Using solar energy is also kind of difficult because of how sporadic and all over the place that energy is. But that's an example of what I mean by different energies have different properties. Now, let's see. Elemental energy, for instance. There's different elements: fire, water, earth. I actually have a fire guardian. Just how I have a guardian for every other element. Most humans have elemental guardians pertaining to each element. And there's been times where I've actually trained with my elemental guardians, because they actually taught me how to use elements of particular energy, like fire energy. There's been times I've actually like practiced with my fire guardian using fire energy. And there's however they want to do it is very different. With my fire guardian, he was a bit more aggressive with his teaching than, let's say, like my water guardian. My water guardian was also pretty aggressive at some points, because water can also be aggressive. But that training with my water guardian was a bit less overwhelming. What are some other experiences? What are some other times? Let's see. Well, for instance, in terms of constructs, I actually have a bow made out of light energy. Light energy, I'm going to talk about it very briefly because I actually want to make a video about what each energy is and how you can utilize it and the properties of each energy. But for light energy, light builds while also arranges reality. So with light, it's very mathematical. I know it seems kind of weird, but whenever I use light energy, I always see like numbers and formulas in my head for some reason. I don't know why, but I haven't learned why yet. But light energy is very mathematical, but it also builds and arranges. It's an energy that feels very ecstatic. It feels what you would think light energy feels like very happy, very bright energy. And with the bow that I made, I can conjure arrows whenever I fire it. Well, because how the properties of light energy, I can program the arrowhead to have different effects whenever it hits the target. For instance, I can create a shield around whatever it hits. Or I can use the arrowhead and put in a purifying property into place. For instance, if I use the arrow, if I use the bow and I target a building or like a house, depending on how much light energy I built into it and how well executed I programmed the arrow to be, determines how effective purifying that place would be whenever I hit the building. I know it seems like a lot, but I know it seems like a lot, and I'm probably going a bit too fast. I just wanted to talk like a little bit about some of these things because I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot with this. For instance, what's another example of energy? Oh, if you are, there's been times where I've encountered dark angels, not fallen angels. Remember, their dark is just as divine as light and mana. There are light angels and there are dark angels that are divine in nature. There have been times where I've encountered dark angels that have helped me because, let's say my frequency was going too high for my own good and it was causing mental strain on myself. They would use dark energy to almost subdue that and pacify it. So that way the frequency wouldn't keep building and building. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like,